Small introduction for viewers who don't know what the case of Nambi Narayanan is. This is a person who was accused of being a traitor to his own country in 1994. After many years and a long fight and a lot of physical and mental torture, he has got his dignity back, but he still wants answers.
Some 2-3 minutes to explain to you or answer your question. You see, here this particular case was started by one police officer just to wriggle out of the crime what he has done. Then it was picked up by one of the newspaper owners to take revenge on a police IG. Subsequently, a political party picked it up to bring down the present chief minister at that time, Mr. Karnagaran, and then to elevate Mr. Antony to that position. Then the so-called LEF and the UDF, they were trying to settle scores with each other. Now, the whole thing, we are able to see how these are happening. But what you have failed to see is a foreign element came in the picture and silently did its job, namely demoralizing ISRO and totally delaying the cryogenic project. In other words, I was working towards that goal of making ISRO a space power, meaning that we should be able to launch geosynchronous satellites and we can certainly pay back to the nation what they have spent on us till that time. This was a dream of three big, honest, true sons of India. Dr. Sarabhai, Professor Dhawan and Professor U.R. Rao. That was shattered. Now that dream was shattered. What was alleged to be one of the charges against me was that I have sold the cryogenic technology to Pakistan. Now that technology is not even available even today after 18 years have passed. So the point I am making is this whole thing has happened because of the involvement of both the left and right political parties. Now what they probably think is they won't allow this to die down or they won't allow this to solve. If they solve it, both of them will have to pay for it. So that is the reason why justice is denied to me. You see, I saw with my own eyes the letter written by Secretary of State US to the Russian counterpart requesting them to cancel the ISRO cryogenic contract. I was the project director. I was closely talking to them and tried my best to make Russia not to accept it, but helpless. Finally, Russia agreed to modify the contract. Without the technology, they said they will give this. So, this is evidence number one. The evidence number two, US applied sanctions against ISRO and Klaus Cosmos, the company which was supposed to give you the technology. That is evidence number two. This makes it clear. And they also told a lie that the cryogenic is used for missile. Let me tell you, not even one missile exists in the world using the cryo technology. Now, putting all the three evidences, it is very clear US is not interested in India doing the cryogenic technology. So you have an operator and he has a purpose. The motive is also clear. Now coming back to our ISRO case, just want to tell you one thing very important, that Professor Dhawan and Professor Rao and Mr. Seshan and Mr. Yashpal and Dr. Chandrasekhar and Rodal Narasimha, all these 6 people, eminent scientists of India, wrote an open letter in which, of course, the letter was talking about myself, etc. But I am not going to go into that. One line in that letter is very important. They have said very clearly, if this kind of spy operations are being, continuous, then you cannot stop the interference of foreign agencies into your own strategic activities.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the message I am trying to focus here, that none other than the two chairman ISRO have drawn the attention. Now, my point is, so you add to this with the Ratan Sahgal episode, and then I am not saying today that Sri Kumar has done the crime. I am saying 15 years back he has done the crime. Number one. Number two, I am not isolating him. I have sued himself along with his so-called boss, Matthew John, everybody. I am saying, why should he think that we are isolating him? He is part of the system which was responsible for this crime. This must be understood. Now I am concluding very clearly that absolutely clear to me as a rocket scientist who has spent 35 years that this is just the handiwork of the USA. Now the problem is, what bothers me even today is that this force has demolished your country, demolished your ISRO. Now these people, I wouldn't say knowingly or unknowingly, most probably knowingly, have played in their hands. And the result is you don't have the cryogenic. They made sure that the Russians are backed out from the cryogenic contract. They made sure that the Russians amend the contract, denying the technology to you. And they made sure that ISRO is totally demoralized. Now I hope this is what was achieved by the foreign power, and that is how this case getting dragged. Now I will ask you one question back, having answered the question. CBI has found out that this case is a false case. They didn't say that we couldn't prove. They said it is a false case. Now second, that court that are accepted by CJN court. Subsequently there were appeals in the High Court. All of them were dismissed by the High Court. Subsequent to that, the Kerala government wanted to reopen this case by another investigation, which was quashed by the Supreme Court with heavy strictures. Afterwards, National Human Rights Commission, headed by Justice Venkatacharya and Verma, they gave me an interim relief of 10 lakhs. Now that one was also delayed by the Kerala government. Now what happened? They took 11 years to give me my interim immediate relief. In other words, tell me one thing, Mr. Arnab, maybe I am asking this question to the viewers. I have gone through the entire judicial process. I have made myself clear and my innocence is proved. Now where else I should go now?